Hello, friends, to the Thursday edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down the 7-game NBA DFS slate. All I have are golf lineups, and the fact that I'm going to be up till 4 in the morning building them over and over again. I'm going to be tweaking all of the Millie Maker winners so that I make $0 here going during the course of this week. Hopefully you can pick up the slack for both of us. But Rimpak, how's the slate going for NBA Free tonight?
Well, I was so heavy on the Pacers, and 2 of them got there for me. But the rest really were disappointing. Karis LeVert really didn't pay off that price tag on a 9-game slate. You really wanted him to get in the mid-40s at 7-1. And we saw a slate where Russell Westbrook destroyed with Bradley Beal returning. So, hey, it's how it goes on 11K Russ Westbrook paying off a price tag in 2021. Go figure.
Yeah. I had a lot of Jakar Sampson and Goga together because I thought they would actually maybe share the floor together more. It was weird that Goga didn't finish because he was playing good. It looked like he was playing good for the little bit I caught. I was on the Live Before Lock Golf show. Again, I just have Masters and golf on the brain here right now. Was doing pretty well in the $4 there on DK for a second, but then Luka Doncic just couldn't do anything. And when you go completely stars and scrubs and you have the likes of like John Wall, come on. When you have like some of these mid-range five guys. Kyle Anderson, again, back-to-back nights. I liked him yesterday, liked him today. Just didn't have enough of him. That was an oopsie by me. Anybody else that really you're regretting right now?
Teo Maledon putting up a mid-40 spot was really, really shocking to me. I mean, that was tough to accept because I was like kind of with the field at least when it started, and then I was really under the field, and it didn't take much to get over the field quite a bit. So that was tough to accept because I liked some OKC players to go back to them after most of them were disappointing last time. But hey, it is what it is. On to tomorrow's slate we go, and we got a lot of Masters to coverage all weekend long. There's going to be a ton of showdown content. Eric just wrapped up his Live Before Lock golf debut, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure
second one there, but debut with the boss man. I got to go with the boss man, Alex Baker, my first show with the number 1 DFS player in the world. Pretty intimidating, but I think it went well. My parents watched and they liked it. Actually, they ended up driving and they're putting out some bets here right now as we speak. Don't tell them that. They're probably not going to listen to this. But anywho, get to that bottom bar. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Jam that thing if you're watching on YouTube. And hit that notification bell so you know when this and all the other content at Awesemo is going live. We are sponsored today by monkeyknifefight.com. I'm going to be heading over there to make a couple of Masters plays. There's a couple of great birdie prop numbers that I really, really like over on some of the birdies. I think I'm going to be parlaying a couple of those guys. Maybe I'm not going to bet Spieth or play Spieth too much in DFS, but I think he could make enough birdies to be viable and it's still helping me a little bit. Basically kind of hedging myself a little bit on Monkey Knife Fight with some of those bets. So head over there and do the same with me. Otherwise, they've got great games in NBA, all prop bet stuff. It's a fantastic way to help build your bankroll. And not only that, but you can like really find some massive multipliers over there if you're looking in the right spots and get a nice big payday. So monkeyknifefight.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Also, I'll say right from the get-go, we'll get the promos out of the way so we can just fly through NBA. But we have the promo code DUSTED. If you're listening to us tonight, before the Masters start tomorrow morning, I believe it's 5 a.m. lock time here, Pacific time, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, head over and use promo code Dustin, D-U-S-T-I-N, as in Dustin Johnson, as in the guy I hope doesn't win the Masters. Plug that in. Awesemo, you get 1 month free. So it's buy one, get one free on 1 month of Golf Plus. You can help it to build the projections, all the other goodies that you're going to need to be successful at the Masters. Go back and watch the video of the Live Before Lock I did with Ben Rasa, Dr. Ben Rasa, and Alex Awesemo Baker, the number 1 player in the world. Good times were had by all. You ready to get started, my dude?
Let's ride.
We're going to ride straight through this thing. 7-gamer, nice for Thursdays. I'm so happy that the days of just like 3-game slates on Thursdays are kind of behind us here. It seems like it's been a nice run of games. Luka Doncic on that top end, 10,900. I'm very, very mad at him right now because I had some really, really good lineups that were looking really saucy, and he just couldn't quite get me all the way to the ceiling that I needed. Damian Lillard, 9,500 against Utah. We know the kind of ceiling that he can have at times, but been pretty bad, and that's a big number to be paying for him up against Utah. And then De'Aaron Fox, 9,300. We, again, just saw the 55-pointer that he had up against Minnesota. He was one of my favorite, if not my favorite tournament point guard on that slate. Detroit's a little bit different situation, but Detroit's still bad. Happy to go back to it a little bit. Talk to me about the top end of point guard.
Yeah, obviously in the top end point guard, going right back to Luka is something that I would be completely for. A matchup versus Milwaukee. So, and keep in mind, Giannis is doubtful. So obviously Giannis being there, it would obviously help Milwaukee's defense out, him not being there. We'll see what ends up happening and how Luka can take advantage of this matchup. Look, Luka's still taking mid-20 shot attempts. His price tag is appropriate, maybe a little cheap if you want to say. So I like going to Luka. No questions asked. Spending down to De'Aaron Fox, a matchup versus Detroit. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox has earned this north of 9K price tag. He's been very, very good. The matchup against Detroit is very, very good as well. I like spending up to those guys. Spending down a little bit, I think going to Jrue Holiday, no Giannis, I know was disappointing against Golden State. Disappointing in the sense he still got the 40 fantasy points. He went 11-18 from the field. He was just super efficient. The 8 turnovers did not help his cause for putting up a higher score, but I like that price tag quite a bit at $8,100 over there on DraftKings. Taking a look over there on FanDuel, spending up to a guy like Luka, yet again, 10-3 is cheap for Luka Doncic. I mean, that is a kind of a nice discount to get Luka Doncic at that price tag, especially. And then 9-3 Fox and then a 9-2 Lillard. Both of these guys have a super ceiling upside now. I know Lillard's not been as good of late, been kind of disappointing. Back-to-back games. I know it's a Utah matchup where he can bounce back. I like going to Dame at $9,200 over there on FanDuel. In the mid-tier, it's not the prettiest mid-tier options. A lot of guys are priced appropriately. And Utah in a back-to-back, we'll see what happens with Conley, but I could definitely put Jordan Clarkson in play if Conley were to be ruled out at that price tag at $5,600. Clarkson's kind of come down to earth of late. Obviously, still the leading 6th man of the year candidate for the number 1 team in the league right now, records-wise. But other guys who stand out their price tag, Killian Hayes is someone who played a ton of minutes the other night, I believe, and was pretty good against Oklahoma City. He didn't play against Denver. He picked up 6 stocks. I don't think that's sustainable from Killian Hayes, but 4K, if he's going to get if he's going to somehow find a way to mid-20 minutes again, I think he's okay, an option, someone who they're trying to experiment a lot of things off ball, on ball, according to Dwayne Casey's comments. But FanDuel, it's a position where I want to spend up for some point guards tomorrow. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, hey, Dwayne Casey, chill out. How about that? Like, he just got back. Like, Killian Hayes has been there for 2 games in, 3 months, it basically feels like. I mean, he's been out since December, right? It's been a long, long time since we saw Killian Hayes. So, if he's going to play mid, you got to be looking at him in kind of that, what is he, 4K on FanDuel? If he's going to play mid-20s minutes, he's a great play up against Sacramento. That's obviously as good as a matchup can possibly get. Curious what you think about somebody like, Jrue Holiday at 8,800 over on FanDuel. Like, you take Giannis off the floor, which it sounds like he's not going to be playing tomorrow, so we're going to be talking a lot of bucks as we're going along the way. Is it something that you ever do you ever make the decision, I'm going to get my exposure to Jrue over on DK, be over the weight to the field there, and then just not play him on FanDuel? Or is it something where it's like, because most of the time, even price sensitive wise, like somebody who's in that good of a spot, who has that kind of usage with Giannis off the floor, I'm usually just like all in on them, or I'm underweight on them.
Yeah, usually projections will organically do that for you. The projections are built out in a way where it's going to put you on the proper median projected plays on both sides. So Jrue Holiday is definitely still in play at $8,800 in a matchup versus Dallas with no Giannis. We saw his upside versus Sacramento when he put up 61.5. He could definitely do that in a matchup versus Dallas, especially where he's really good at picking up peripheral stats, and those pay off in a hurry over there in FanDuel. So not necessarily someone who I would ever be in on one or off on another site like that. If the price difference is not too drastic enough.
Just thought it was a fun talking point. I don't know. It felt right. Drew Holiday 8,800. I wish he had gone off against Golden State because I had a ton of him with late swap. Good times. Make sure you're doing it. Top end of shooting guard over on FanDuel. Devin Booker's 9K. Paul George 8,700. They're facing each other. That's always fun. Paul George just tangoed with CJ McCollum the other night to the tune of 50.1 over there. And then CJ McCollum is right underneath him there. Only finished with 41.6, but man, did he come out of the gate hot. I thought CJ McCollum was just going to destroy the slate the other night. Cooled off a little bit towards the end of that game. Now gets Utah. I don't know. I feel like the ceiling of Lillard is still something that I would probably want if I prioritized one of the two, but I don't know if I'm looking to do it with either of them against Utah. Last guy I'll kind of like throw into the bucket is Donovan Mitchell, who's all the way down to 7,800 now. Gets a Portland matchup, fantastic. Has been playing like lower minutes other than last game where he got up to 34 and only put up 28. Was disappointing. I feel like this is a nice buy low spot to be jumping in over the field at only 7,800 for Donovan Mitchell, who was just up to 9K. I don't know, maybe a week ago. Talk to me about the top end of shooting guard.
Yeah, top end of shooting guard. The way things stand right now, it's shooting guard is a spot where we've tried to pay up, and over the past couple of slates, we found some value in terms of the OKC side of things. They're off the slate, but spending up for guys like Paul George at $8,200, I like that. And it's a Phoenix matchup. Phoenix will be on a back-to-back, but Paul George is matchup proof. He just has so much usage going for him, and he was sensational against Portland the other night. $8,200 is still too cheap, in my opinion. Now, if you want to pivot off of ownership, going to Mitchell versus with no Conley, some extra ball handling duty, where Donovan Mitchell can be really good. So spending up for both of those guys on both sites make for great options, especially Mitchell over there on FanDuel. $7,800 is very cheap. And that's something that I'm going to be targeting to get well over the field on. So I like that price tag quite a bit. Now, Chris Middleton is going to have shooting guard eligibility. I'm going to go right back to him. That is in this particular matchup, I think it's like $1,500 too cheap without Giannis. I think he should be above 9K just because of the usage he should get. And just going to a guy who's going to take 20 plus shot attempts. And I like going to Chris Middleton against probably one of my favorite players on DraftKings so far that we've looked at. So it's going to be tough for me to get away from Chris Middleton, but a guy who you can pivot off of not pivot, but some guy you can have interest because of the matchup is in Buddy Hield, priced at 6K on DraftKings, where you get the 3-point bonus. I won't hate you for doing that, but it'll be tough to go there if Jordan Clarkson is going to open up an opportunity for you to take advantage of. Over there on FanDuel, CJ McCollum, $8,200. It's tough to like him. At price tag on Mitchell is way too cheap. Spending down, it's tough with all those guys priced pretty appropriately and very favorably. I like Sexton versus Oklahoma City at $7,500. He just seems to have a floor of taking 15, 16, 17 shots, and that's really good at that price tag. And on FanDuel, we have to roster too. And Zach LaVine, $7,200, now is turning into someone as a tournament play because the addition of Vooch obviously has not helped his usage, and he's still finding a way to take high teen shots. And LaVine's just going to need to get one of those games to get hot, and he can obliterate that $7,200 price tag.
Agreed. Love it. Gary Trent, last guy I'll throw in the bucket. What's really funny is if you go over to DraftKings and you click on shooting guard, it's just Gary Trent surrounded by 5 red O's on the Toronto side. You have Van Vliet, Hood, McCaw, Watson, and Harris all out. It's rare to have 6 guys listed at one position on FanDuel, on DraftKings, where you obviously have the multi-positional eligibility, but to have 6 guys be shooting guard eligible and only one of them active, it's just funny to look at. So 6,300 Gary Trent, playing big minutes for this team, even though been really, really bad the last 2. I don't know. The first 2 out of the gate, we saw 40 and 40.5 and 40.75, and now still sitting at 6,300. I don't know. Super low owned, kind of a tournament dart that you could be looking at, especially over on FanDuel, where I believe he's a little bit more, 6,700. So yeah, I don't think that button's getting clicked very often, so I might have to do a couple of those just for the heck of it. Dante DiVincenzo, 5,700 with no Giannis. We know the kind of upside that can exist there. He's shown that a couple times this season. DeAndre Bembry all the way up to 5,200 on FanDuel. Thank God. So maybe I don't have to just keep jamming him in at 3,700 or, excuse me, last 2 times I faded him at 3,700 because I am good at NBA DFS. Anyway, what are you thinking about anybody else down here on the bottom end? Maybe Josh Jackson at 4,400. You got to target people against Sacramento. And if he's going to be starting, he's been bad though.
He's been very bad. So it's going to be tough for me to go to Josh Jackson, but pure tournament upside, someone who can get going. I can't fault you for that. Someone who's that's going to be tough, man. I guess if we get some more clarity, your
night by bringing up Josh Jackson.
I would rather take my chances on if everything opens up for OKC. I would rather take 33 minutes this fee again if he were to play.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that price tag. It's so dumb. Why didn't he get the same treatment Bembry got? Like, I don't get it. I know Bembry's gone off the last 2, but I mean, didn't Svi just have a 6 stocks game or whatever it was to put up 34.6 at Super Chalk, 21.1 today in 31 minutes? Yeah, they're whatever. FanDuel is good half the time is what we're learning. Anybody else you want to talk about, or we should be keep it moving along?
Let's keep moving it along.
Yeah, we're cruising here now. Luka Doncic, small forward eligible over on DK. But let's start with Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler. I believe that's going to be 1-2 on both sites. Kawhi's up to 10K on FanDuel, but over on DK, 9,400. Pretty happy about that, even against Phoenix. Not a spot where I'm ever really that worried about Kawhi Leonard and matchup. I think he kind of transcends matchup most of the time, like him in general. And then Jimmy Butler, 9K, still a big number. I don't know why that number keeps staying there. He's just kind of like not playable for me with Oladipo. Bam Adebayo, we still have a little bit of a ceiling, but I don't know. Jimmy Butler against LA, not really feeling it. But Chris Middleton, 78. He is 7,800. He is your super chalk of the position, 8,200 over on FanDuel. How much Chris Middleton is too much? I'm thinking 101% because that means you cheated.
Yeah, Chris Middleton, love it. Definitely someone we should go out of our way to get at both sites at that price tag, $8,200. Probably my favorite play on the slate. Because like if you look at guys priced around him, OG Anunoby's up there, Kyle Kuzma. I mean, Chris Middleton has 50-point upside in this matchup, just because no Giannis is there. But I won't fault you in terms of like if his ownership is like north of 70-80%. If you want to like completely just like, okay, Chris Middleton has a dud game and you want to pay up for a guy like Butler, our cover boy, or Kawhi Leonard. I know they're elevated price tags, but it makes sense in terms of tournaments to take that risks. In the mid tier, spending down a little bit. I know Saddiq Bey the other night was pretty solid. Bojan Bogdanovic is playing better basketball of late. Josh Richardson could get there through peripherals. And Buddy Hield could spike an upside versus Detroit. So it's kind of turning into an interesting small forward slate outside of Middleton tomorrow. It's going to be tough to find that second small forward and have a ton of confidence in going to. While taking a look at things at DraftKings, spending up, obviously we have Middleton yet again, has small forward eligibility. Tough not to love it. And it's Luka Doncic also has small forward eligibility. Keep that in mind. But man, it is tough for me to avoid Chris Middleton in this matchup and in a game environment. If you want to spend down to a guy like DeAndre Bembry, like you mentioned, in matchup versus Chicago, if things open up appropriately and properly for him, that makes sense. But I will be going out of my way to get Chris in my lineups.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be playing Middleton. I think I'm going to be playing Taurean Prince at 4,100 on DK, who's just too low still, and Bembry 3,800, just too low still. I think those three just really kind of stand out as still pretty good. And compared to what you're seeing over for Bembry's increased price tag over on FanDuel, and then Taurean Prince is up to 5,800. So this is kind of that situation where you want to be price sensitive for that kind of a situation. I was talking more to Rinpack about Drew Holiday in terms of their ceilings. I don't know. A guy like Drew Holiday, he's going to go for 60. You're going to want him whenever he's under 10K, basically. So 8,800, 8,200 there, nice for Drew. But Taurean Prince, 5,800 on FanDuel, probably not going to be going that direction. Saddiq Bey is a guy that I really liked the other night. Is kind of a low-owned tournament play. Got hot, got 25 real points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist. Oh, it was so tilting because he got so hot there, was knocking down threes left and right. Yeah, I watched part of a Detroit basketball game. It was not enjoyable, but Sadiq Bey, he was enjoyable because I rostered him, but now he's up to 5,100 against Sacramento. That's still probably a little bit too expensive. Patrick Williams, 4,500. I think I still like that. You're getting 30 minutes out of a dude going against Toronto. Toronto's not good. I think that might be about as cheap as I'm willing to go over on FanDuel, 4,500. Do you see anybody else down there you'd be thinking about?
No, man, you covered all good spots. Obviously, it's a big enough slate where news is going to open up. So obviously lineup flexibility will be nice, but keep in mind there are 3 10 p.m. games. So organically, you're going to have a ton of flexibility in your lineup.
Yeah, we've got a dead spot for the most part. I mean, it's a 7:30 lock time, so that's kind of the fun part of it, is that, you know, everything is a little bit condensed. It goes 7:30, 8, 9, and then you've got those games, the trifecta there, with the Detroit Sacramento game being kind of the featured piece of pace there. But anywho, last guy, Kenrich Williams. I should probably throw him in the mix if OKC is going to be shorthanded, and we kind of know. I mean, he went off today and I had none, so I should probably maybe look at him. I don't know. I'm probably not going to play him. I'm not going to even lie to you. Going to the top end of power forward over on FanDuel, Giannis Antetokounmpo, it sounds like is going to be out. Said he's doubtful. We just saw him get ruled out as probable, so I don't know what to believe anymore. Obviously, he's going to play now. That would be hurtful, but yeah, they're just letting it be known. Pascal Ciacom is your highest priced power forward over on FanDuel, 8,700. I like going back to him there. First of all, what was Nick Nurse doing there? Giving him 40 minutes to run. They were down like 30 in that fourth quarter, and they had Siakam out there playing garbage time. I loved it because I had a lot of Pascal, and I would have had a really, really bad night had he not played in that garbage time run, but I don't understand that. And then if Kristaps Porzingis plays on the second half of this back-to-back, I like going there again, although I think he'll be more popular. I had a ton today because I knew he would be like unowned. He tried to win me the $4 until, oh yeah, Doncic sucked. So there's that. Talk to me about the top end of power forward.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Nurse probably just wants to rub it in to Pascal. They're slowly having some coach-player feuds. Who knows what's happening behind the scenes over there? But paying up for a guy like him in a matchup versus Chicago can't fault you. His teammate OG now is only power forward eligibility. He's been really good of late. He's kind of taking the next step forward with the no Lowry on there. I know he's been disappointing the last 2 games, but he did get tossed out the other night. So OG versus Chicago, 7K, not terrible, honestly. Rashawn Holmes versus Detroit, power forward eligible when he plays center, $7,600. Tough not to love that. I'll have interest in Bobby Portis. Keep in mind, he didn't start versus Sacramento, and he only played 20 minutes. He started against Golden State and played 28. So if he's starting, I'll have interest. That's a bit. 8 minutes of Bobby Portis is a lot, and that could change his projection alone. I would expect him to start in the way the Dallas matches up. We'll see, though. I'm not too sure what Budenholzer is going to do, but if Portis were to start, I will like Portis quite a bit. Kevin Love is slowly playing more minutes. He got up to 26. 26 minutes of Kevin Love is very good, and he can pay off that price tag in a hurry versus Oklahoma City. So especially where you get the 3-point bonus, he could put up a double-double real quick. So I have no issues paying for that price tag for Kevin Love on both sides. $5,600 on FanDuel makes for a Bobby Portis pivot kind of if Portis for some reason has a ton of ownership, which I think he will. Other guys, Harrison Barnes, just the minutes seem so secure. When you're playing 35, 36 minutes, you're going to have interest in a guy who's just going to be on the court, and he's been productive of late. So that's a nice spot price tag for Harrison Barnes if you don't want to pay up for guys like Siakam or Porzingis or who else can you pay up for at that price tag?
Yeah, Jeremy, you look at Siakam, Thad Young, 6,500. There's really not a quote-unquote like spend up on FanDuel. On DraftKings, you can get up to Holmes, who's power forward eligible now. They added that over for him on DK. You got Kuzma at 7,100, who it sounds like is probable, so you could pay up for him. But they're not like 8K, 9K guys. You're punting it by default a little bit.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So it's keep in mind what's happening in Dallas. Kleber didn't play. I would have to look into the rotation what Carlisle did, what happened with no Kleber. I know I have to see who cracked this starting lineup because of that. I don't remember off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, it was Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Richardson, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and Nikola Melli.
Nikola Melli. Okay, I wonder how Melli.
5, I think.
Yeah, interchangeable. Yeah, I don't know how Melli did today. Let's pull this up. Melli played 24 minutes. Okay, I know he's not going to take a ton of shots when he's sharing the court with Porzingis and Doncic, but 24 minutes at a low price tag like that, you're going to have to try to find value somewhere if you want to spend down, try to get some studs in your life. So, and OKC, Pokuševski had to go to the locker room. He's been balling it late. So Pokuševski is taking a ton of shots, and he's balling, man. This guy's
he's good.
Scrawny dude.
I think he's good. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
I like targeting him on FanDuel because he had such a high block rate coming right out of the gate in limited minutes. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to write his price tag up. And I have. Today, I kind of was a little off of it. I don't know. I thought Tony Bradley was the worst play in the entire universe today, but somehow he reached double-digit ownership. I would actually play Tony Bradley tomorrow if you don't get Pokuševski in there. But if Pokuševski plays, I will play Pokuševski under 6K. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, Pokuševski is the only thing I felt like that went right for me outside of McConnell and Bitadze, but so we'll see what ends up happening.
Those are three important pieces.
Power forward wrapped up. Yeah, I didn't expect Luka Doncic to get outscored by Russell Westbrook by 30 points tonight. So
it was not good. I had both. So yeah, it did not go well on the Luka Doncic side of that. That's for sure. Yay, stars and scrubs. Woo. All right. You ready to round this thing out? We flew.
Let's do it.
All right, top end of center. Nikola Vucevic, 9,100 over on DK. Then your next true center is Bam Adebayo, 8,400, who we did see a ceiling out of. Now gets to go up against LA. Rudy Gobert sitting at 7,800. We know the kind of ceiling he can have. Over on FanDuel, it's Vooch, Bam, Gobert, exact same situation. The guys I do want to bring up, though, the Los Angeles Lakers. Is it Marc Gasol Day? Like, Marc Gasol had an absolute ceiling beyond a ceiling the other day in limited minutes. I guess it was a revenge narrative against Toronto, but I'm assuming Drummond's back. What is Drummond's price? Oh, he's still 5,200 on FanDuel. Great job, guys. Talk to me about center.
God damn it. All right. Andre Drummond at $5,200.
For the third slate in a row where we can't even play him until today. This is the day you're going to play Andre Drummond.
I'd hope so, man. I hope those minutes are not limited. They have been because he lost the toe. So, he didn't lose the toe. He lost a toenail.
I was going to say it was the toenail. That seems different than a toe.
Yeah, it's tough not to like Andre Drummond at $5,200. Other guys who stand out their price tags: Zubac versus Phoenix could be a monster. Boucher has an upside if he gets the minutes. He played 33 minutes last time. Had 5 fouls. So I know it's a tough, it's really risky to go with Boucher because we just don't know what Nick Nurse is going to do. But spending up for a guy like Gobert makes a lot of sense. $8,100 versus Portland. Gobert should feast quite a bit. So he's playing Phoenix tonight. It's a back-to-back. I know Quinn Snyder hasn't really rested many people on a back-to-backs outside of Mike Conley. So we'll see what ends up happening on a back-to-back for Utah. Over there on DraftKings, Vooch, $9,100. I like it, man. It's tough not to like that price tag for him. Has a pretty massive ceiling in a matchup versus Toronto. Spending down to guys like Gobert, Bam Adebayo versus the Lakers. Lakers team, Adebayo should be pretty solid against this Lakers front court. Plumlee versus Sacramento could pay off that price tag. He only played 20 minutes. I know Detroit got waxed by Denver. It's a matchup versus Sacramento, but the thing that stands out is the matchup. So I like targeting Plumlee at $5,900. Other value options at center, not that something that I'm excited to do by any means. Bobby Portis has center eligibility. He'll have some ownership for sure at $5,300. I like going to Brook Lopez at 5K versus Dallas, just because he's playing a little bit more minutes with no Giannis, and Lopez is one of those guys who can rattle off 5-6 3-pointers and get that 3-point bonus, a double-double bonus, and be a really unique tournament option tomorrow.
You did see Montrezl Harrell was out of the rotation against Toronto, right?
No, he was ejected.
Oh, he was ejected. Never mind. Okay. That was a lie. See, I just lied to you. I just saw that he had 2 minutes there. I was going through, I was very confused. I forgot about the ejection. We do have Rashawn Holmes, 6,500 on FanDuel. Chris Boucher, 6K, played 33 minutes. If you could tell me right now that I got 33 minutes out of Chris Boucher, I would have a lot of that and just take my shot and see what happened. And then Enes Kanter, we're probably not going to get Nurkic again, so 5,800 for Enes Kanter seems like something I'm probably going to want to be invested in again, but I kind of expect him to be popular even against Rudy Gobert, and that just doesn't feel right. I don't know if that's something I would necessarily be doing. Do you have any interest in him tomorrow, considering if there's no Kanter, if there's no Nurkic tomorrow, would that be a place that you're kind of willing to go to?
Yeah, if he's going to get 36 minutes again, I'm willing to go there. Yeah, it's tough not to like if he's going to get mid-30s minutes again. He was great last time, went 13 and 15, had a couple blocks. Now, he doesn't need to go 13 and 15 with a couple blocks to pay out that price tag. You're hoping to him to get to mid-30s. He can. Last time he played Utah, I think he put up like 24 and 24 minutes. So you really want him to get mid-30s minutes. He's just one of those guys who's going to find a way to get it a double-double. But he can get played off the court. There's a liability with him, but I have no issues if you want to play Kanter tomorrow, if no Nurkic.
Playing a popular Enes Kanter against Rudy Gobert. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Nothing, I don't think. Rinpak, any final words for the people today?
No. Check out all our Masters content through the weekend. Go to awesemo.com/promos to see the last few days of the MLB starting 9 promotion. Really enjoy that. And if you're listening to this, you can win a year of Awesemo Plus. If you just go to the Awesemo_com pin tweet, follow the instructions in the picture that's listed there. You don't want to miss out on winning a whole year of Awesemo Plus Platinum.
No, you do not. Is baseball lock early tomorrow morning?
I believe there's a 1 p.m. lock time.
Whew. It's going to be a big day of DFS tomorrow. Can't wait to sit on my couch for a lot of it, other than when I'm doing NBA Live before lock tomorrow, of course. Rinpak, this was a blast. As always, guys, best of luck tomorrow. We'll see you here for the Friday edition of the NBA Slate Starter to finish out the week. Until then, best of luck, guys.